Hey.
Inquisitor, Do you have a moment?
Yeah.
What were you like before the anchor?
Why?
Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
No. Not that I can tell.
I don't believe so.
Ah.
Why do you ask?
You show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
What did you expect?
What have I done that's so surprising?
Humans are short-sighted, brutish, blind to the beauty of the Fade. Their minds cast in a duality of black and white. But you have shown a subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I know of your people.
Well, Solus... I guess that's something which changed since the mark. I feel like I can't afford to see the world in terms of black and white. Because my actions have such, like, wide-ranging effects these days. I have to look at everything, and I have to try and be objective as possible. If you're referring to me stopping you from killing those mages and my words after your spirit friend passed on, which I suppose is an ironic choice of words. It's just the external perspective. I don't feel like I'm much different from any other humans. I mean, especially like, yeah, I'm leader of the Inquisition, but I don't consider myself wiser or more competent than anybody on my council. In fact, without them, I think I'd really struggle.
I'm just one part of this team, Solus. What about Cassandra or Leliana?
Cassandra separates matters of faith from those of the world, and she above all should understand how limited that is. Leliana has a brilliant mind, but her faith was damaged. To her, it is all a game of tactics now, but not you.
So what does this mean, Solus?
It means that I respect you deeply, Inquisitor. And I have disturbed you enough for one evening.
Thank you, Solus. Don't think he has many friends outside the Fade. He's probably not used to communicating in this fashion. Actually, I considered changing my outfit. Not bad. Just changing things up might be kind of nice. I think a little too military for my liking. I like this, but the cape is just silly. Goodness no. Again, tinfoil jacket. It's already kind of cold enough out there. I'm good. Let's see. This isn't bad, though. Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm kind of tiring of Night's Watch. We can have a second pair of clothes. It's a shame there's no like mods for this stuff. See, I mean, what I like is this. The outfit that I wear here. Suits me better, I find. It's different. We'll give it a go. It was really nice of Solus to say. Even if I think he's wrong, and I do, he talks about the surprising wisdom, but what he's really saying, and yeah, I guess I'm holding this against him a little bit. Not that I wish to misjudge him or anything like that. Not that I'm holding him to any standards which I'm not holding to anybody else. But Cassandra views matters of faith as separate, so on and so forth. I don't think that's accurate, especially anymore, where like her faith is being so tested. And Leliana views everything through a lens of tactics, but Solus views everything through a lens of like how it affects the Fade and the emotions and so on and so forth. We all have these lenses with which we view the world, which are just based on like our experience and our jobs. I don't know, if I wasn't a mage, I don't think he and I would have as much as common, because a lot of my interest in the Fade and stuff, which formed the kind of foundation of our conversational like relationship and was one of the first early things we both discovered we had in common, I don't think we'd be friends. I think his perception is a little flawed, but having said that, he's not used to people. So I don't hold it against him whatsoever, and I really appreciate that. That was quite tough for him, clearly, to communicate in such a way with a person. It's been a while since you've had anything to say.
I always have time for you, my dear.
Which is, again, ironic.
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Whether Cole is a spirit or a demon is irrelevant. Neither can be trusted, my dear. Remember that. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
I don't know what to make of Solus. So much knowledge and so little personal history. I find that peculiar. Don't you?
We just concentrated one into the other.
My dear, did you need me for something?
I like the way you speak to me, Vivienne. It's very friendly, and it makes me feel like I can trust you, but you're also one of the most judgmental people I've ever met in my entire life. It's kind of a funny thing, like, yeah. Good characters, good characters in this.
In the Inquisition?
So Varric was spying on us all this time. I'm impressed. I never would have taken him for a player of the game.
Really?
I'll have to watch him more closely from now on.
I guess I get that, because he comes across like very smooth and calm and like charismatic, and that's kind of tied inexorably to the game just by its very nature, but he also has a quite refreshing habit of cutting to the quick, cutting through the bullshit.
My dear, did you need me for something?
Which is kind of opposite to the game.
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
No, we definitely...
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarans or men.
Okay.
I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay.
Fair enough. That's absolutely fair. I respect that answer. Thanks, Vivienne. This is really nice to touch base with everybody before moving on to, got distracted for some reason. Before moving on to, like, the next big main plot, it's really nice to touch base with people. I'm actually just gonna nip to the restroom. Back in a moment, guys. Guys, I went to the toilet and I fell through the world. What the f... What the f... Oh, they knew. They knew. I don't believe that. It's really funny. to compensate, I suppose, for the fact that I am now fucked. I guess I could fast travel. I don't believe this. This is so weird. Can I get out? No, break out. Okay, thank God. That was incredible. I plan to just come back at Vivian's place, and that is indeed where we'll be heading back to, but that was so weird. Oh my God. Oh, this game.
Your worship.
There it is again. Is the weirdest shit. Is that just a joke? Like they knew there were problems, so they just put some random bucket in a top hat down there? I'm liking this outfit now. It's a bit less fancy and like cool than my last one. It's a bit, but I like it. It's nice. I might even try out the white one of these days, but this will do fine for now. Anyway, up here I think is where I went and saw, yeah, Vivian. Cool. I got a little bit lost, turned around, and I fell through the world. I still hear it now and then. It's really quite distracting. Stop it, you're freaking my shit. Let's just leave that here as well, doesn't it? What are these buildings? Jesus. I haven't seen these buildings before. Crumpled letter. My dear Ewan, you have been the light of my life, the song in my heart for over a year. But the world has changed. And both of us with it. How does one live through the rending of the sky and still remain the same? I've seen oblivion through the rifts, and I fear our lives are about to end. You told me the distance between us would be hard to bear, and I said I would never seek the arms of any but yours. I was wrong. Oh God. I met someone in Valroyo. She is dark, where you are fair. She fills her life with poetry, not battle. And her voice, her tongue trips so... Shut up. Just shut up. Tongue tips so sweetly on the trails of flourishes their legion light. This was not necessary. This is the sort of shit which will haunt him for a long time. Jesus. Leaving somebody for somebody else, that's one thing. You know, people fall in love. Whatever, I don't even hold that against you, but to rub it in somebody's face how they are not better but different. I love them because they are not you. Oh, that's so incredibly just...
Let the blade pass through the flesh. Let my blood touch the ground.
Is that music again?
Let my cries touch their heart.
Anyway.
Good, Inquisitor. I am glad that issue has been resolved.
Sorry, that letter up there is sickeningly selfish. And again, not believing for somebody else, that's fine. I am fine with that. But to use your breakup letter as an opportunity to revel in this new person that you're with?
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
We are groaning with resources. A reflection of your competence and inspiration.
As you were.
Of course, Inquisitor.
I think plenty of people in the audience will have been through a breakup at some point or another. Hey, Giselle, we'll talk to you in just a bit. And you must know what it's like when you find out that person is with somebody else. And I think no matter the distance in time or how far you are removed from that, it's you compare yourself, you know? It's just natural, it's a human thing. Somebody could pick up that bloody chandelier. That bloody standing lamp. Hey, Lizette.
Your worship. Inquisitor.
Did I actually... I don't know if I saw all the rooms up there. Let's have a look.
Me whole. Find me well within your grace. Touch
Anyway, to get over that properly, you need to...
Tell me I have sung.
What's the right way to phrase this? You need to... Your self-esteem has to survive. That's the word of it. And losing faith in everything that you are, because you're comparing yourself to somebody else, is it's pure poison when it comes to that stuff. All right, we're gonna deal with the music.
Enemies are abundant.
Herald
Many
of
are those who
Andraste.
rise up against me,
Sup.
but my faith sustains
We
me.
won't talk to you
I shall
very
not
heavily,
fear
actually.
Should they set themselves
Farewell,
against me.
revered mother.
Make her go with you.
Though you're an interesting one to come across, because I feel like you have inspired me in a variety of ways, Mother Giselle, and I thank you very much for that. However, your potential manipulation of Dorian surprised me. He received a letter from his parents, and what was it again? It was unfinished business. No, last straw, good ma'am. Written by Dorian's father. Dorian may wish to read it, but it may just be best to take him to the tavern to sort this out in person. The option to lead Dorian there under false pretenses. Giselle wants what's best for Dorian. I have absolutely no doubt about that. However, I think it shows a different way that we would approach the same issue. Nothing in here from the looks of things. Nice place, though. Right, where do I need to go now? Distract myself. That is getting creepy. To Dorian, in fact. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way! So I've decided, tempting though it is just to sort him out, and best in the long run, as I think it may be. It's a funny thing, because sometimes what is best for somebody is to trick them and to put them in a position where they have to struggle a little bit, which is bad for them. But that's not what the point is. It's kind of about methods, and I think Markus has a strong relationship with the concept of the truth. And he is really struggling with this Andraste thing at the moment. To tell people or not to tell people, and just not saying anything to anybody is the best I can do at the moment. But when it comes to stuff like this, I think we just need to say that I respect Dorian enough to know more about his situation than I do. I hope he gets this letter and goes to sort it out. But if he doesn't, then that's just his choice.
What's on your mind?
Hey. Let's get this first, though.
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
Really? Why?
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hosburg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. And the guilt tore him up.
Yep.
I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
Of course. Sorry.
That must have been difficult.
Back then, I was furious. I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
You still went after him.
It's true. What was I thinking? It's so cold down here. At any rate, he's dead now. More's the pity.
Avoidance. That was some classic avoidance right there. Ugh.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
I wouldn't let him.
That would be hard to do while I stood there.
He expects me to travel with Mother Giselle, although Maker knows why he'd think I would. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
Could you tell me more, though?
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married. Because you left.
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say.
No.
If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
You're closing yourself off to these ideas, and you use humor as deflection for more serious issues. This is something you should address properly, Dorian, one way or another, even if it goes in the negatory. Otherwise, you're just repressing stuff. Look at what the heart of the issue is here.
Your parents are reaching out to you. Doesn't that mean something?
Only that they're trying to choke me. Don't mind me. Let's see what comes of this.
Okay. Bring Dorian to the Gull and Lantern. Very, very tempting to do. And I'm glad I told him. He's angry. He's definitely angry, but he's still going. I'm glad I took the chance. Do I do this now? Where the hell's the Gull and Tavern? In Orlais, I'm guessing? Where the bloody hell's the Gull and Tavern? Bring Dorian to the Gull and Tavern. Thank you. Oh, hang on, there's a related codex to that. Here we go. Your Reverence, I understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting. Even in the asking, I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way. I know him. He would be too proud to come if he knew, even just to talk. That is all we wish to do. See, already there, that's been proven wrong. Although, having said that, possibly he agreed to go literally just to prove his parents wrong. Is all we wish. Doing the anti of what somebody asks you to do is just another form of them controlling you. That is all we wish to do. The thought of Dorian in the south placing himself in the path of such danger alarms us more than I can express. We are at our wit's end. Yeah, let's do this. I don't know where it is though. Bring Dorian to the Gull and Tavern. Ah, looks like it's here. I've got you under my skin. Redcliffe Village. Let's boogie. We gotta take Dorian, obviously. Let's take Varric, and we got a mage, we got a thing, 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 Blackwall.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just, what? A smokescreen?
Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
Considering you lied to get him here, Dorian has every right to be furious.
You don't know the half of it. But maybe you should.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
That's a big concern in Tevinter, then.
Only if you're trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every Tevinter family is intermarrying to distill the perfect mage, perfect body, perfect mind, the perfect leader. It means every perceived flaw, every aberration is deviant and shameful. It must be hidden.
There's shame there. So is that what this is about?
So that's what all of this is about? Who you sleep with?
That's not all it's about.
Dorian, please. If you'll only listen to me.
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
Oh my god.
I only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you. For your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
The anger's completely justified.
Don't leave it like this, Dorian. You'll never forgive yourself.
Tell me why you came.
If I knew, I would drive you to the Inquisition.
You didn't. I joined the Inquisition because it's the right thing to do. Once, I had a father who would have known that.
I think they were close once. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave.
Once, I had a son who trusted me. A trust I betrayed. I only wanted to talk to him, to hear his voice again, to ask him to forgive me.
If he's apologizing, it's up to you. Yeah, I can go. Okay, that went okay. Oh, that's done. Okay, there we go.
He says we're alike. Too much pride. Once I would have been overjoyed to hear him say that. Now I'm not certain. I don't know if I can forgive him.
Externalize it.
He tried to change you.
Out of desperation. I wouldn't put on a show, marry the girl, keep everything unsavory private and locked away. Selfish, I suppose. Not to want to spend my entire life screaming on the inside. He was going to do a blood ritual. Alter my mind. Make me acceptable.
Jeez.
I found out. I left.
Fair enough. I didn't react much on the time, but it's is so hard to comprehend because not everybody has this experience of being something on the inside which is seen in any way as unacceptable. Everybody has milder versions of this, but when it's something like your sexuality or your gender or whatever, it's so intrinsic to your identity that, especially when you trusted somebody, to find out that they don't accept you for it, and that they are so against it that they are willing to go back on something that they've said to you before, like specifically in this case about blood magic, that they are willing to sacrifice one of what you view as like their key principles because what you are is so repulsive to them. Imagine how that must make you feel. Forgiveness, I don't even know. There he seemed genuinely sorry, but at this point it's... I mean, I'm big on forgiveness, you know? Just in general, and redemption. But I also... It's hard to comprehend a situation like this. And it may be best for you to just separate. He can be sorry, and if it makes sense, I'd accept his apology. But it is entirely up to Dorian, whatever is best for him to do or don't. There's something to be said for the fact that it looked like he was approaching you, Dorian, and not who he hopes you could be here. I don't really want to ask this.
Are you all right?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. It wasn't what I expected, but it's something. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
Oh... I put trust in you when I put the letter in your hands. And you more than lived up to what I hoped you'd be able to do. I said before, you deflect with humor, and you have a lot of closed anger in there, obviously, about this. And it could have gone that way where you just remain closed, but you actually opened up to a certain extent, which was incredibly brave.
I think you're very brave.
Brave?
It's not easy to abandon tradition and walk your own path.
That too.
At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. It's been that sort of day. Join me sometime, if you've a mind.
It's like a...
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Your Reverence.
You guys okay? I'll leave them to it. There's some things to hash out. That leaves us just with Leliana, I think, and then we can wrap up. Hey. Go on.
What we learned at Adamant concerns me. The hero Ferelden and I have been together for years. I nearly lost him to the Archdemon. He's looking for a way to stop the calling from taking him, as it does every Grey Warden.
Really?
But if Corypheus has power over the Wardens, my love could be in danger.
That's interesting, because Nathan, I think it was quite quick to accept that he was going to die when Alistair first told him back in Dragon Age Origins. But when the time came and said that a Grey Warden must sacrifice himself to kill the Archdemon, again Nathan said that if and this is I I love the scene Dragon Age Origins so much. I will say I love my Let's Play scene of it because it lined up so perfectly and so accidentally. Because there was a moment before I came in and met Morgan and discussed my survival where I said, if Riordan dies before he can slay the Archdemon, I guess I'll do it. And he would have, because he sacrificed himself for a cause is one thing, but when Morgan gave him an option, even if it meant to an extent betraying this amazing woman here, Nathan chose light against needless death. And if he's coming to the calling and he thinks there might be a way to avoid it and to prevent it for others, then Nathan would fight for that, absolutely. It's very much in character for him back then. Interesting, we're getting this now. Cool.
If you two are still together, why isn't he here?
His quest took him far to the west, to lands that have never known the Blight. But Justinia needed me here. I owed her that much. My love and I are never truly apart. When this is all over, I will join him again. And this time, nothing will come between us.
I feel like I've heard that line before.
What makes him think he can stop the calling?
It has been done before. Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a warden, but something took all trace of the calling from her. A warden mage named Avernus also found a way to prolong his life with magic. It wasn't much, but enough to start the hunt. He will find a way. I have faith in him.
Avernus has turned up. He's been mentioned in the current plot, hasn't he? I'm really curious about this.
Were the two of you happy together in the years after the Blight?
Happier than you could imagine. The only shadow over our love was knowing that one day I would lose him to the calling. His quest is for me as much as for him. He knows how much I've lost.
Speaks to Leliana that I'm certain that Nathan told her about Morgan. I'm certain of it. Might have not done so immediately. Nathan was noble, but that would have been a tough conversation and he would have just been so relieved to be alive. But eventually, Nathan absolutely would have. Says something about the way that Leliana... I don't know. It's not like she would tell Markus anyway. Maybe it caused her pain. But Leliana was a bard once. Fairly progressive and in her own way, like, quite sexually mature. It may not have bothered her as much. I don't know. I feel like I used to know Leliana quite well, but I honestly had no idea, even at the time, how she would react. I mean, it took me about 10 minutes of internal monologuing just to work out how Nathan would react to the suggestion.
What would you like to do?
I do not know where the hero Ferelden is precisely, but I know how to get a message to him. He may have information that helps the Inquisition. At worst, it will do no harm. I will draw up a plan in the war room. Thank you.
Cha-ching!
Anything I should know?
Having the Templars join the Inquisition has done wonders for our reputation. The people trust the Templars.
Yep.
And now they trust us.
Okay, thank you. Carry on.
I'll leave you to your work.
And that is, as they say, that. I see a bridge I want. We'll end here. Cool. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap up here, guys. Before I kind of go into the end of session spill, I did want to address one thing, and that was I just released today, in fact, the episode where I talk about the last side quest episode. And please see, for the most part, people are on board so far. There was one comment I wanted to address, because it was a good point that somebody raised. You right there? And that was actually the fact that the Inquisitor is going around doing this all himself is actually related to the plot. I remember I talked a little bit about how it made no sense that the Inquisitor was doing kind of these minutiae tasks, which I do stand by to an extent, but there was at least a fair point raised that the Inquisition is a bit of an underdog, and there's a lot of people kind of against them, and there's so much they have to do, to the extent it does make sense that the Inquisitor is doing stuff. Which is fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm not sure, that quite justifies the level of stuff that I have to do, and the sheer volume which is presented to me. And I'm not sure that the game needed to go to that extent with the volume and the quote-unquote triviality of some of the quests that you have to do to make that point. But also, I did just want to say, just to kind of come back against that point, is I don't think that comment got the point of the whole video, because 25% or maybe even less of what I was saying was this doesn't make sense in terms of the plot. The other 75% or whatever it was that this just wasn't fun for me to do the side quests, and it was hurting my enjoyment of the game. Yeah, a part of that was kind of how it broke the flow and broke immersion, and you know what you said helped with that. It was a good point. But still, I'm not going to go back on what I said there, and I'm still going to laser focus on what it is that I want to do, what Markus is interested in. Aside from anything else, look, we've got so much power, I'm not hurting for that, and I'm not hurting for coin. There's no reason for me to do this at this point, because I don't need the resources. And that's that. I just wanted to bring that up very quickly, because that comment just came along, and it was quite... It was something I didn't address in the video, and I want to close the chapter on the whole side quest thing, and I wanted that to be conclusive. I'm not going back on that. It was a good point, but I'm still not convinced by it, and I wasn't enjoying it in the first place. No amount of plot justification will get me doing a gameplay thing which I'm simply not enjoying. So, yeah, right. Today has been a big step back into Dragon Age for me. With doing the dungeon was one thing. Yeah, that feels like it was forever ago I was doing that.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool.
Anyway. Something's going on with the sound in here. At least I'm not hearing that bloody tinkering music anymore, probably because I loaded in and out of the area. And then after this, reconnecting like solidly with everybody, with a possible exception of Blackwall. I did some musing on Blackwall, though. That makes me feel like I'm back in touch with him, and that's everybody, right? It was Markus. Well, obviously, I always speak to Markus. Is what I'm doing right now. Cassandra, Sarah, Cassandra. Actually, I spoke to the least. Blackwall. We don't need much talk. Vivienne, Solus, Varric, Iron Bull. I got them all. And had scenes of varying import, and it was really, really nice to touch base with everybody. I feel like completely reconnected to the people and to the, not necessarily to the story, because it has been a while since I originally got the assassination plot, but I'm ready to go ahead with that in the next session. So yeah, it's gonna be good. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you then.